And now for something completely different.
All right, hello. Welcome, Chris. Welcome, me.
Thank you.
To Cinematic Relief. Sorry there wasn't one last week.
Sorry there kind of isn't one this week.
What do you... Oh, because we're doing this? Well, I don't know. Maybe this will
It could be fun.
It could be fun. I'm going to have fun.
I mean, I think we should do it in a style we do of the thing we just recorded.
Oh,
Just
yeah, yeah.
Whenever we got something cool, we'll just edit. Yeah, actually, maybe you could even do timestamps.
Oh, true.
You know?
Yeah. No, I think if we also I forgot to set the timer we wanted to set. So give me one second.
No! We're
Right, there we
already
go.
over time.
We're already over time. We've talked for too long. Goodbye. I'm fading away. Okay, so today we're going to have a little open mic brainstorming session that we've been teasing about for a while.
And it might span different video essay ideas along with podcasts.
It might. I do want to focus on the first episode that's probably going to come out
Should
first.
we talk about the concept? Because we've already teased it in a few of the things we've recorded today, but should we talk about the open concept of what this is that we're making?
Yeah, sure. So well, first of all, the brunt of this podcast, we're going to talk about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. That's probably in the title of the podcast. Because what we're doing is we're going to make a show, a video essay style Sunday show called If We Made or If We Made It. We're not quite sure on that yet, but it's going to be If We Made is in there. And it's basically going to be like a TV show, or we're going to focus on TV shows or movies, not video games.
I mean, we could down the line. I feel like it's very open-ended because we just talked about an idea which will probably make its way into this video.
Yeah.
Maybe right now. About Thor.
That's going to be so funny when I don't put the clip there and it's just you trying your hardest to like give me like on-air clues and I just don't take them.
No, but we just did a thing about just the music that could potentially happen in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and it'd be really cool.
That's what we were just talking about. These could be like 20-minute long video essays, or it could be like literally a 3-minute long essay of us just being like, hey, what if this happened? That'd be cool, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, next time on. Like our end game ideas that I don't want to get into quite yet, those could be 2 separate videos.
Oh yeah, totally.
Now that we're thinking about it. But we wanted to start things off with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yeah.
Because we love JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but we're in, for some reason, a unique situation that I feel like is the minority of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fan base, where we do not like Part 3.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind Part 3.
I don't
It's definitely
hate it.
my least favorite.
No, yeah. Well, besides 5, I've really not been enjoying 5.
I think they're kind of they teeter.
Really? Oh, see, I mean, we haven't seen the end of it. There's 2 more episodes left, and we're gonna get those this weekend for Golden Wind, or what's it really called, Ventario?
Yeah.
But
or if you're a real fan, the Italian one.
Oh, you just say the Italian one? Yeah. No, but I prefer Part 3 over the only thing. Part 3's long. We'll get into it, but basically, we wanted to talk about like what Part 3 could be, and if we made it, basically.
Well, I was just gonna say, like we said, this is just us spitballing ideas for a different thing that's not cinematic relief,
right? But it's about a TV show or movie, so we thought we'd this is what we were talking about. We're gonna brainstorm a video essay live, basically, and we're gonna upload it, and you get a little behind the scenes thing if you want.
So you and I,
like, if this one doesn't get that many views, I'm not gonna give a shit.
Yeah, whatever. So you and I, maybe we should reintroduce what If We Made It is on a different podcast too, then, because I feel like we just gave a good definition.
Yeah,
it's
sure.
It's essentially our
it's a catch-all
job review for movie production companies to hire us because we have such good ideas.
But yeah. But also it's a catch-all of like think about all the video essays that we produce. I use that word lightly. I want to make a video essay where I talk about what if Rocky ended after Rocky 3. Where the fuck do I put that?
Right.
You know?
No,
so
absolutely.
Why don't I put it in this one? And stuff like that.
Or that little music for Guardians of the Galaxy 3, wink, wink, Anthony. All right, they're not going to do this, but it would be so cool.
Okay.
So we're talking about our If We Made It series, which I don't even think is going to come out for a while. But we're talking about if they put God of Thunder, the song by Kiss, in Guardians 3.
And put it like on Peter Quill's like mixtape
Yes.
that he has.
What if Guardians 3 starts? Actually, because he just got a Zoom, right? And that has a ton of songs in it.
Yeah, at the end of Guardians 2, he gets a Zune with 300 songs.
Yeah. I mean, that could absolutely be one of them.
Forgot about that.
And so check this. You know how in 2 they opened up in Mr. Blue Sky's playing and they're fighting that monster and it's just a cool opening.
Yes, yeah.
What if everybody's just dicking around on the ship doing whatever? You know, Raccoon and Groot are doing whatever and they're all doing whatever and Thor's just sleeping on a lazy boy and the song's playing in the background and then when it gets to it could even start like going up the side of the chair and it's like God of Thunder.
And by the time it says God of Thunder, we open on Thor.
Yeah.
Maybe it could even be revealed that he's listening to it in headphones.
Sure, even that.
Because isn't there a scene in Endgame where he's listening to music in headphones?
Oh, there could be.
I think there is. I'm not quite sure though.
There could be, but wouldn't that be cool?
No,
And,
that would be awesome.
And here's the thing. It's not Immigrant Song because he's not, as we were saying, he's not...
Right, Immigrant Song
regular
is
Thor.
the song of Thor, the mighty god of thunder.
Right.
And right now he's kind of just a fat oaf.
and,
for all
and
for
Kiss
lack of a
kind
better
of
term.
resembles that really well. And, like, he could do something really cool in the Guardians movie, and then it plays, but it plays, like, you know, like the song in the background.
Yeah.
And it would just be funny.
Yeah.
It would be really cool.
Do you want to know what would be cool? I don't know what they're doing about this, or I don't actually even know if Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is called that.
Right.
What they could do is what you described happens. Maybe the song fades to the background. They have a quick conversation, then it swells back up, and they show the logo, and it says as Guardians of the Galaxy, but maybe it's written in neon lights, and the AS kind of flickers out, and then it just says Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
That would be really cool.
Because it's like, even though we're using the Thor song, this is still the Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Yeah.
But it's called as... Oh, just kidding.
You people might be getting this twice because we might make an episode of something else out of this.
Where do you want this 2.5 minutes to go? At the end of this
I
week's
don't know.
podcast?
Where
do I put this little bit of audio you made me record?
I don't know. Well, part of the cinematic relief. We'll make it that.
Okay.
It's a weird week for that.
Okay.
Maybe it'll just be an ideas week.
Okay.
For anything, whatever
Sure.
ideas we get.
Okay.
But we got a new series. It's called If We Made It, You Should Listen to It. It hasn't come out yet.
Okay. Yeah.
Cut that out. Just cut that out,
You fucking...
please.
Oh my god, all I have to do is stare at you like, really? And you like fucking lose it. You're like, how do you podcast? I don't...
You cut that out, or this is the last thing I ever do on this channel.
Cut what part of it? Though
Just that thing I just said.
all of it? Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
You know what? And I'm lightning.
As much as funny as it would be if I left all that in, I will try my best to cut out whatever the fuck you were trying
Thanks.
to get me to cut out.
So
what were you gonna say? Something about?
I don't know.
Okay.
Ooh. Are we doing just part 3 for JoJo?
For this video,
video?
I think
We're going to do other parts at other times? So this is just part 3? I mean, this was just going to be a video essay in general. I feel like this script we have in front of us might get changed just because the circumstances of what the video is have changed.
True, yeah. No, I think we were just going to talk about part 3 for now because
sure.
it's
No, I mean,
besides forget about part 5 for a second. It's not done. We're not talking about it.
Yeah.
Part 3 is the one that has the most we have the most issue with.
yeah,
Because I know you don't like part 4 as much as I do. Like that's my favorite. Your
Yeah.
favorite is 2. But you can at least acknowledge that part 4 was way better
oh yeah,
than part
no,
3.
I enjoyed part 4 a lot. There was still some. Oh, excuse me. There was still some continuity issues and stuff that happened throughout the whole season.
Yeah,
I mean, throughout the whole series.
Yeah.
It's just the way the guy writes.
yeah.
I feel like we could nitpick certain things we would do differently for every part of JoJo, despite how much we like it or not.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So what do you think about this? Do you want me to just read what we have? Into the mic?
Sure. Maybe it might get stopped here and there.
Yeah, sure.
Because I feel like right off the bat we should. Oh yeah. I feel like right off the bat we should give a definition about what this new series is going to be, like always, you know?
Yeah, I think, what am I doing? How do I do what I'm trying to do? There we go.
Yeah.
There we
it
go.
is.
Hello, everybody. I said that like the
doctor from Simpsons?
Yeah,
you
it.
did.
The Tony Stark dude. Okay. I actually do that. All right, let me just read this. And you, sorry. Let me bring this closer to me. Let me just read this, and you stop me whenever you feel like it, man.
All right.
I gotta sit better. It's not, nothing's going the way I want it to quite. All right, is this good? This is good. All right. Sitting in a very awkward position to read this. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our brand new show. It's called If We Made, and as the title implies, we're going to be breaking down certain movies, TV shows, or other media, and talk about what it would look like if we made it. Now, of course, we've never made a movie or a television show, and we're not saying that we would be able to do a better job than the people who made it. We're kind of saying that. But the point is, as always, these are just our opinions, and we wanted to share them with you. That's like a back and forth between the two of us, that part.
Yeah, no, I like that. Did you people like that?
Oh, I can hear them. They did like it. Oh, no, wait. They thought it was awful.
Good, you covered all aspects.
Today, we're going to be talking about Part 3 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. But be warned, our opinions on Part 3 are as unpopular as they come. So now that the mood is set, let's talk about clip of guy yelling JoJo from the first opening.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be good.
I'm just going to put that in this podcast. Spoilers for parts 1 through 3 incoming. Okay. Part 1, Phantom Blood. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure begins in the 19th century with
Okay, sorry, just gonna, so like I said, the concept of this video has changed.
Yeah.
I feel like when we were writing the script, we assumed this was it. We were talking about JoJo. Here we go.
Well, no, because we were going to call the episode Stardust Crusaders. But
okay.
I think to air out our grievances of Part 3, I think we have to talk about Part 1 and 2.
From what I remember...
Oh, sorry. Yeah, what were you going to say?
No, just from what I remember, we give pretty lengthy descriptions. I don't even think we got to Part 3 by the time we were done.
No, we did. I mean, I did. So I remember I continued writing a bit without you after you left because you were feeling really burnt out that day.
Okay. Right. We might want to give very, very brief descriptions of Part 1 and 2 because we'll talk about them later.
Right.
I feel like this video... I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you. I feel like this video is set up for JoJo fans.
Right. So... Well, okay, I'm just going to read it because I only gave each part one paragraph.
Okay.
Part 1
right.
and 2. So I'm going to read it. Tell me if it's too long. Tell me if it's necessary to get into Part 3.
Okay.
So let me go back over here. Part 1, Phantom Blood. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure begins in the 19th century with the introduction of vampires. It follows the story of Jonathan Joestar, otherwise known as JoJo, a charming gentleman, and his adopted brother Dio Brando, who is an evil vampire. Jonathan, with help, masters the power of Hamon, or Ripple, an ability that through self-controlled respiration, the user can produce an energy similar to that of the sun, which also happens to be what vampires are weak to. The two fight in a battle that ends with both of their untimely deaths. That's it for Part 1.
Okay.
Part 2, Battle Tendency. The story then picks up in 1938 with Jonathan's grandson, Joseph, otherwise known as JoJo. Did I do that twice? Yes, I did. That's cool. Joseph couldn't be more different than his grandfather. He was cunning, witty, a self-titled ladies' man, and extremely perceptive. He became locked in a back-and-forth power struggle with the Pillarmen, otherwise known as the unkillable superhumans that indirectly created vampires. By the end of the first season, because you remember Part 1 and Part 2 are in the same season, by the end of the first season, Joseph Joestar becomes unto a god, having successfully went toe-to-toe with not one, but 4 of these Pillarmen, the latter of which was so powerful he became unkillable, and Joseph had to trap in the vacuum of space for the rest of eternity. Forgot about that.
In the vacuum of space!
Fuck, I'm so upset about that. Frieza doesn't actually say, I'm going to send you to the vacuum of space.
No, but you know what? This is actually put in. We should put that Frieza line in there from the video game.
Oh, yeah.
Type it out.
Type what out?
I'm serious. We should
Oh,
in the
I'm
actual
sorry.
video. No, not in this video.
you
Not
meant-
in the one we're making right now.
You meant on the script. I should write.
Yeah.
Yes.
Throw
yes,
in that
hang on, where
Frieza
did he
line.
go? Hang on. Okay. Asterisk. How the fuck do you spell Frieza? What?
However you want.
Frieza? What did I do? I broke this a second way. There we go. Everything's broken over here. Okay. Frieza. I didn't. Hang on. Vacuum.
However you want.
I think I did it. Nope, I did it wrong. Give me a second. It's like you did it. Oh, you fucked it up.
When is Vacuumo gonna be a character on Dragon Ball Z?
Oh, because Freezer and Cooler and all
and
that
Piccolo
stuff.
and Vegeta and
And
Kakarot and yeah. I no that
It's me, Vacuum.
no Vacuumo. They just say, doesn't that sound? I mean, I'm sure they actually have a word for vacuum.
Yeah.
That isn't the made up
No,
racist
sometimes
thing that I
they'll
just
literally
said.
like one of the Saiyans' name is Raspberry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like sometimes they change it. Like Apul is like clearly Apple, but it's an alien name.
Oh, yeah,
One of
yeah.
them's literally just called Raspberry.
Good.
All right.
No, I think those lines were good. I think we should explain why we're giving an explanation a little more thoroughly.
Okay.
Like, to get to part 3, we should give you some background on part 1 and 2, and that'll indicate why we have issues with part 3.
Yeah. Hang on, I'm gonna be here for a sec. So.
No, that's fine. I'll talk to the people.
Yeah, go for it.
How you liking it so far, Mason? We're giving it our best go here. Anthony's gonna put that clip of me doing doing that cool thing for Guardians I did right here. Okay? How'd you like? Wasn't that cool? I thought it was a good idea. Having God of Thunder in there. If you don't put it in this video, I'm gonna be pissed.
Fuck. Okay. Here I am. I'm back. Okay. We're scrolling down with the mouse, and now here we are. Part 3, Stardust Crusaders. So I'm noticing that. Oh, okay. I do get into it like a little bit. Okay. Stardust Crusaders. The story picks up again in 1987. Once again, starting with Joseph, now a man of 69 years old, on his way to visit his daughter Holly. Word on the street is Holly's son is possessed by an evil spirit, and Joseph thinks he has the solution. We're then introduced to Part 3's intended main protagonist, Jotaro Kujo, otherwise known as JoJo. JoJo is, in our opinion, the least likable JoJo thus far. For one, he's outrageously disrespectful to his mother. He's brash, quiet, kind of a dick, but also has the fighting ability and physical strength to back up his awful attitude.
So I think right here we should explain what we would do to make Jotaro better as a character. I know that's probably a huge issue you and I have with this show, and we can go on for a bit. But let's go on for a bit. He's the quote, as you put it, the quote unquote supposed main protagonist.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he live up to the expectation in our eyes?
Yeah.
Why doesn't he outshine Joseph?
I think... No, we definitely should mention that. I think it wouldn't be the worst thing if we circled back to it, because I do think we need to explain stands, which I do in the next couple sentences.
Sure, maybe we should throw in a sentence then that will get back to what we would change about Jotaro.
Yeah, I'll do that right now.
See, people, I help. I do some stuff in the scripts.
So but we'll get back to that good enough?
Yeah.
Just something that simple?
Yeah.
Okay. So just physical strength, beggars, attitude, but we'll get back to that. And that evil spirit he has, it's actually something called a stand. A stand is a visual manifestation of the user's fighting spirit, usually taking the form of another person that fights on behalf of its stand user. Jotaro's stand is Star Platinum. It's this is your joke. It's an incredibly powerful stand, but really all it boils down to is he punched good. Which, like, it's just like...
you have that picture, too. I sent you that dorky picture of...
did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
in
Nick
the
Cage,
email
right?
somewhere,
As
right?
Star Platinum, isn't it?
No, it's Star Platinum, but he just looks gross.
Oh,
It's just
okay.
a bad drawing of
Yeah,
Star
it's somewhere.
Platinum.
I have that somewhere.
I just want to see if I have it. We can keep going. I'm gonna low key be looking for that dorky Star Platinum.
Interesting. I kind of go off on a tear here in a couple seconds. All right. Are you ready to?
Oh yeah, I'm looking for him, but I'm good.
We are then introduced to Joseph's. This all might change. I just kind of went for it. You'll see what I mean. We are then introduced to Joseph's friend Avdol, another stand user whose stand is Magician's Red, a stand that can control fire. We're introduced to Joseph's stand. And we're then introduced to Joseph's stand. What? Joseph Joestar has a stand too? Has he had that the whole time? Why didn't he use it in part 2? I hear you asking, and we'll get to that in a couple minutes. Which I don't, because the script is about to end.
Okay.
Joseph Joestar, God Killer, grandson of the fabled vampire killer Jonathan Joestar. Surely he has an incredibly powerful stand, right? And then I put show clip of the first time he used his stand. And then this is literally all that's left on the script. Oh, I get it. His stand sucks. It's a joke. They turned Joseph Joestar into a pseudo comic relief character. Isn't it funny how bad his stand is? We're meant to say aloud as we try to enjoy the first few episodes of this new season.
So I think that's really good. I
Thank
think
you.
right then we should, because we're not getting to the part of put your money where your mouth is. It's fun to make fun, but what would you have done differently? Like we keep saying we'll get back to it.
Sorry.
I think that's
us. I thought you meant Jotaro. You mean us put our money where our mouth
Right.
is. Yeah.
Because I think right there would be a good point of saying, I don't mind Joseph's stand being awful, but he has a much more OP power that he only uses like 3 or 4 times in this entire series.
And it's almost a Easter egg.
Right.
Or a joke.
It would have been funnier if even the other characters, because we know most of the main characters when he shows his stand, make fun of Joseph, and then he uses Haman, and he's like, well, this is what I really hang my hat on. You know what I mean?
No, and that's the thing, like, if he did away with Haman in a big way, and he's like, no, it stands now. Stands is the
then
hot
don't
shit.
have your main protagonist from your last Haman series be in your new show.
Well, I was even going to take it a step further. I was going to say, like,
Make a new show?
No. Do have him in the new show, except have him use Haman all the time.
That's what I'm saying.
Literally,
yeah.
like, you know how the video games, the fighting games will be like stand users, Haman users.
Yeah.
Literally do that. Make Joseph, like, don't give Joseph a stand.
Right.
And make it like all these characters have stands except Joseph. I want to do away with Haman, but there's a clear tie, and it's the man named Joseph Joestar,
Right.
and he's going to use Haman all the time.
Yeah. And that would have made him a lot more versatile and a really cool character. There's literally points where I want to talk about, because here's the thing, we could really dig into this. I feel like we should bring up the fact that, like, you ended with he has a crappy stand.
Yeah.
We should pick up with the way we would have done it is he would have used his Hammond power all the time.
Yeah.
He would have stood out more as a character if he did that.
Right. Because he's
I'm
sort of
burping
just.
a lot. Sorry.
That's fine. He's because as it stands, he's sort of just your everyday run of the mill old man
Who
on an
hates
anime.
Japanese people.
No, he's just the old man comic relief character, like fucking Jackie Chan's uncle. You know,
No, exactly.
every anime's got the old main character where it's like, isn't it funny how old they are? Like fucking Yugi's grandpa and Master Roshi. But this time it's Joseph Joestar, the guy who killed gods.
The God Killer. Yeah. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
No. There's literally a part in season 3 I want us to bring up right now. So we talk about Hammond uses it all the time. And it's when he faces Darby. And Darby's like, look at this liquid. If only somebody controlled liquid. Hammond controls liquid, by the way, for those of you who don't know what JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is. And Joseph loses. It's like, Joseph.
Do you remember how he loses?
Yeah.
Do you remember what he tries to do?
Yeah, he does this insane, Like I put some chocolate at the bottom of the cup so it wouldn't spill, but then it melted, so I lost. And it's like
when in reality he could just put a finger in the cup and then hold it upright and not have the water move.
Yeah, exactly. I'm screaming. I shouldn't be screaming. I think your dad's trying to sleep in the next room.
No, it's fine. He knows what he signed up for.
Oh. But no,
also he's awake. I can totally hear him.
I'm sure I made him be awake.
You're talking about Darby. You're talking about Joseph. I mean, he does use Hammond in a major way once. He covers his body in the vines, and Dio goes to attack him, and he can't because he's like, "Oh shit, you have Hammond coursing throughout this like Under Armour you're wearing. I can't touch you, or else I'll lose." And then he's like, "That's right." And then he does kill him. I forget how. How does Dio try to kill Joseph? Do you remember?
He stops time.
Yeah.
Just throws a bunch of knives at his neck.
Oh, really? Is that how he kills
time.
Everybody? Because that's how he kills Cacuan as well.
It wasn't knives. It was like a fork. I think one fork goes right through.
Good. Well, that's what
Joseph
he gets
Joestar's
for
neck.
That cat.
The cat?
Oh, that wasn't you. I'm sorry. That was Adam. Never mind.
Oh.
Forget I said anything.
Okay.
Adam
it's
and
been
I,
forgotten.
Adam and I, well, now, yeah, not if I talk about it. By the way, oh my God, did I tell you about? This is off topic, but who cares? Because it's kind of a loosey-goosey podcast. Did I tell you what Adam told me about Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Season 3?
No.
Okay, so do you know the Legend of Ghost Stories, the anime?
Not really.
So, okay, to give a brief, when the people who translate the show from Japanese to English, when it's time for them to do that, they have notes. Sometimes, like with the case of shows like JoJo or Attack on Titan, the notes are say all the lines we said but in American. But sometimes the notes are like, in this scene, you could do whatever you want just as long as you get this point across. What happened with Ghost Stories, if I'm remembering what he told me correctly, the show was canceled after season 1, but they still had to do a season 2. So when they sent season 2 to the localizers, they were like, "Fuck it, do whatever you want."
Oh.
So Ghost Story season 2, I think, and season 1 to a lesser extent, is like just the voice actors like fucking around with each other and like swearing and stuff.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh! GX season 3, I think he said, got ghost storied.
Wow.
Like there's literally scenes he showed me where the main character is like, "I'm going to play this card." He's like, "How are you going to do that?" And it's like, "It's easy. I just talk about how I'm going to play the card dramatically, and then I do this." And it's like, I didn't know that, and I can't believe that. Yu-Gi-Oh! GX is the longest arc of Yu-Gi-Oh! And it got ghost storied.
I want to watch that because I've seen
Ghost
clips
Stories
of that.
is on Crunchyroll. I have it on my watch list.
Can we watch it?
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Of course we can.
That's so funny. I honestly thought it was somebody just doing a bad dub over.
No, that's the actual dub.
That's hysterical.
The
Even the
official
quality's not good.
Yeah, they just didn't give a shit.
Like I think our mic quality in your room is better than what they did.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's funny. I don't know. Those are some JoJo ideas. I feel like we can talk about.
Yeah. So let's talk. Also, I'm not writing anything down because we're recording it, and I'll just listen to this
that's
again.
a good point. That's a really good point.
But yeah, so we were.
I was wondering. I was a little miffed that you didn't write down any of my
good
Joseph
fucking,
ideas.
We're recording it. No, they're
that's
all.
Point.
Assume everything you say is a great idea, and I'll listen back to it. So we should talk about into these mics right now. We should talk about what the fuck is his name? Jotaro. We should talk about Jotaro and how he sucks and how he like what we could do to fix him.
So Jotaro, right off the bat, he's a jerk. He's an a-hole. He doesn't respect anybody. And
He doesn't respect authority. He doesn't respect like his peers. He doesn't respect his own mother.
No.
He definitely doesn't respect his the British grandfather.
And here's the deal. I don't mind any of that.
Or no, he's not British. Sorry. Joseph is American.
No, Joseph is British.
He is?
Yep. They moved to New York.
But he is British.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I don't mind any of that, except he needs to speak. He has way too few speaking lines. I feel like if I got to understand a bit more of that character, even if I think he's the first the first JoJo at that point to not have an inner monologue at all.
Yeah,
Joseph
probably.
did, Jonathan did. I don't know anything about Jotaro because he didn't have an inner monologue, and that could have been cool, but he didn't speak at all either. So he literally, I got twice missed Jotaro experience. I think it would be cool if he didn't speak but had an inner monologue.
Like
I
an
think
intense,
it'd be cool. Yeah.
involved inner monologue.
Yes, or opposite. I think it'd be cool if he spoke and didn't have an inner monologue.
Yeah, that's the thing. He just I don't get it. I don't get why do you think we're supposed to like Jotaro? From the writer's perspective, forget that he's a bad writer. Like, he wrote the story, he wrote the character. Obviously, it's the main character. He wants us to like it. Why are we supposed to like Jotaro as is?
I think it's because he's, so
Cool?
cool. But
Quote
he's
unquote
not.
cool.
But he's really not. He's just kind of a jerk, and he's kind of a third-level character in his own series.
Yeah, that's the thing. And there's other animes that I've watched where a character is similar to Jotaro in the way that they don't talk a lot and they are really cool, and because of that you really like it. The one that comes to mind is Afro Samurai. Afro Samurai has basically two characters, Afro Samurai and Afro Samurai's friend. Both characters are voiced by Sam Jackson, but one of them talks way too much, and one of them has maybe 1 or 2 lines a season, and that's Afro Samurai. But he's so cool. It's like the way Jotaro, I think, he wanted him to be, but instead he's just a dick.
Well, that's the thing. If you're not going to talk and you're going to be the main character and you got this cool guy persona, you can't be a dick to literally everybody.
Right.
There
literally,
has to be some cut
the person he calls his best friend, his grandfather, his mom, all the enemies. like you... Yeah. There's got to be that's... Even characters who, from other things, not just anime, I'm just in an anime mood because we're talking about JoJo, but characters from other things are a dick, but they have the person that they're nice to.
Right.
Even, it doesn't happen until the very end, but even Draco Malfoy, he gets married at some point. I can only assume he's not a dick to her.
Right. Well, that's what I was going to say, too, is it's okay if he starts off this way. That's part of the issue I have with Jotaro. It was there was no character development.
That's why I thought they brought Joseph. I thought Joseph was going to, slap some sense into him.
Exactly.
While also maybe, it's even beyond that, it's okay if he's uninterested, but, attempt to teach him Hemon, the family martial arts.
Hold on. Well, that's a whole other can of worms
okay,
we're going to get into. No. That's a whole couple of paragraphs I want to talk about.
Yeah.
But we're just talking about the character flaws of Jotaro.
Yeah.
That's a story screw up.
Yeah.
That just...
Okay, so going back to talking about Jotaro.
Put a pin in that, though. We will talk about that.
Yeah.
It's
just... And here's the thing. Whenever we talk about Part 3... and the moments we like and the characters we like, who do we talk about? We talk about fucking Polnareff.
Right.
Because Polnareff
or
rocks.
Joseph.
And because Polnareff rocks and he has a personality, has an interesting stand, has more scenes than Jotaro and more lines than Jotaro.
Right.
And I don't know why he did that.
Yeah.
Why did he make... It's okay to make...
These aren't real people. One of them
Right.
didn't just end up being cooler than the other one for no reason.
Here's the thing, it's okay to make another character more interesting than your main character. For example, if I can talk about an anime I just watched, All Might is way more interesting than Deku from My Hero Academia. I don't hate Deku. Deku's really cool, and I kind of can't wait to see his arc and his powers grow and his personality grow and stuff. And that never came with Jotaro.
No.
He started a jerk. He ended
started
a jerk
and OP.
And he ended a jerk in OP.
Yeah.
Literally, the last vampire, the most powerful vampire, no one could stop him. Most of his friends died trying to stop him. He stopped him.
And he learned how to fly while doing it.
Yeah, that
and
move,
learned how to do a whole new OP move that he didn't already have.
The Dio Jotaro fight is another couple paragraphs later that I'm going to put a pin in because that shit pisses me off for multiple reasons.
No, but I think as far as Jotaro goes, I think if he spoke more or had an inner monologue and had more character development, mostly based around his grandfather, that's the way I'd want to redo Jotaro.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I think you said this. He can start off a jerk.
Oh yeah, the
But he
first
has to
couple
have
of
a-
episodes can be the same, but eventually Joseph's just got to give him a smack
Right.
and be like, "Listen, kid, I've killed gods.
Yeah.
I will end you if you call my daughter a bitch one more time."
Oh my God, I know. Tell me about it. Rather than him calling her a bitch, and then Joseph goes, "You're okay with that?" And she goes,
Right.
"Yeah." And he goes, "Well, okay."
Right, exactly. You know what? Joseph was brought up with more respect than that
yeah.
for your family. So
Yeah.
I'm just, there's a whole disconnect. Like, there's no way Joseph should have stood for that. Being the character
maybe
he is.
that's what you just brought up an interesting point. Maybe that's what he was trying to do, because there's definitely waning. Because like you start with Jonathan, and Jonathan is like, "I would never touch a lady unless they asked first, and of course, if you drop your hat on the ground, I will pick it up and wash it myself." And then you go to Joseph, where Joseph's cool, but he's like sort of a perv, and he's like kind of rude, but he's like funny about it, and he's like, it's not like he kind of needs a talking to, but it's not like an issue. And then it devolves even more with Jotaro, where he's just a complete jerk who doesn't talk to anybody, and it's just like this is where we started, this is where we ended up. Maybe that was the point.
No, that's absolutely the point, but it wasn't interesting.
No, it wasn't.
By the third one, I was like, okay, well, I hate him.
It would have been more interesting if Jotaro's shitty attitude was more of a problem, and then we dealt with it.
That's what I'm saying.
Then his character arc would have had growth, because a character arc really can't exist without character growth, and Jotaro's arc in part 3 has no growth.
That's
he literally
why it
has an arc with no growth.
That's. I think we're getting to the point of why you and I enjoy Polnareff and Joseph over Jotaro in this arc.
And even to a further extent, like why we enjoyed Josuke and even Giorno more than Jotaro.
There was character growth. Polnareff had goals.
Oh my God, I know.
And he completed them.
He sort of
within
accomplished
the arc.
them, yeah.
Joseph, we see the main protagonist of our past season become an old man. In dealing with that, in not using his powers as much.
It happens.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's character growth. We get none with Jotaro. And to a further extent, spoiler alert, he's in part 4 and 5.
We get way more. I think we need to talk about part 4 in this video a little bit, at least even if it's one line, because like we get way more character growth in part 4 for Jotaro.
Are you sure?
He's a marine biologist. He finds a new starfish.
Absolutely.
He adopts a kid. Like
stuff happens in between. He's definitely simmered down. Right, actually, yeah,
he loses
you're right.
his powers a bit. He doesn't have control over the world as much as he thought he could.
Right. No, we absolutely do get
the
more...
art style changed. The sky is orange for some reason.
But it happens in between. We never see his changes on camera. He's just a cooler character come part 4.
True.
Which we can talk
you're
about.
Right.
We
you're
can
right.
absolutely
He does.
talk
He's
about.
definitely like. You know what? He's definitely in between 3 and 4. He definitely developed into the character I wanted him to develop into. Like he's still
during part 3.
Right. He's like in part 4. He's still sort of a like whatever, But he's also like
he's matured.
He's matured. He's there when you need it. He has the capacity to make friends, because he literally in the last episode, if you remember, he literally says like he stops time, and then he like literally has an inner monologue. Where he's like, Koichi, you're so important to me. I'm so glad I met you.
Oh, you're right.
And then cut to part 5. They're fucking best friends. They're hanging out.
Right.
They're doing missions with each other.
You know what?
Where's that anime?
I'm curious to see. Now I really want to know. Did he have 0 inner monologue in part 3? Like none. Because you're right. He does in part 4, and that's really interesting.
I think the only inner monologue he has is in the Dio fight, because when time is stopped, he can't talk out loud.
Right.
So I think the only inner monologue he has is during that.
So that's
I could be wrong.
just by proxy. Even if he has one, I'm not sure if he has one then.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I haven't seen part 3 in a grip, and I didn't necessarily. I mean, I liked the Dio fight, even though I have a bunch of complaints about it. But it was a good way to end Dio's character.
I agree.
So let's talk about Hamon.
Yes.
But
I think
what the
future
fuck?
Anthony, I think that those were some really good points we made about Jotaro.
Yeah. He just stopped playing Astro Boy on the Game Boy Advance and perked up and was like, "Oh, okay." Future Anthony, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
He stopped sipping his Sprite limeade and looking at pictures of Cat from Breath of Fire 2.
I didn't think that was the picture you were going to be looking at in this.
No, never
instance.
mind. Never mind.
Okay.
It's a bit. It's been going on for this video and the last video, and you're gonna catch on eventually. No, I just like. What gives? Why did he? Like, I'm okay that he abandoned it, but he like flat out like, fuck you, forget about that.
Oh yeah, no, and you can't do that.
No, you really can't.
And okay, overall, I think this would be a good place to bring this in. We should re-mention the fact that if we did it, if we felt so strongly about getting rid of Hammon and creating our new world, you keep Joseph and you make him use Hammon because that's
I think
the character you
exclusively.
made.
I think because there was an opportunity to have Joseph be really overpowered and kind of boring if he had Hammon and a stand.
Yeah.
But then like he loses and you're like, why did he lose? And Jotaro's winning but like there was a decision he had to make and he made the wrong one. He all but got rid of Hammon. He can still use it, but he doesn't because his stand is way cooler or whatever, even though it's not. But I feel like if he's to use Hammon in Part 3 the way we want him to, he has to have no stand.
Yeah. Either that or Hermit Purple can literally just do ghost photos. He can't swing with it or anything like that.
Right, you find out that he can do like other kind of cool shit with it. And I've talked about this before. I don't know why he didn't do this on the fucking show. In the video games, he throws Hermit Purple at you. We keep talking about Hermit Purple. It's just vines. He throws Hermit Purple at you. He wraps you with it, and then he shoots Hammon through the vines at you, and you get like electrocuted. What the fuck? Where was that in Part 3?
His electric Spidey web.
If he could have done that the whole time, basically. If he could have done that the whole time, why didn't he?
No, I know.
That would be cool. See, that's what he was going for, and it fell flat. If he has Hammon, but he's also using it in tandem with his stand, but because he has both, they're both kind of shitty, that works. And the video games nail it, at least in his moveset. The show did not do such. The show makes it look like he completely forgot Hammon. And then in Part 4, you find out he basically did, because he's super old, and you're not supposed to get super old if you practice Hammon every day.
Right. Well, no. The deal with Hammon is your aging stops, but it catches up with you quick eventually, and at that point you are just too old to be using Hammon, and that's fine. But he wasn't at that stage in Part 3.
It happened too quickly in Part 4,
right?
Because he, relative to like how it happened with Tom Petty or whatever that character's name was, because he just abandoned it, and by he I mean the writer,
right?
So I think there could be two. I think there could be two possibilities. I think there could be that where he's the only Hammon user, but that's all he uses. Or the other one that we were talking about last time we talked about this, where off camera, maybe on camera sometimes, Joseph is training Jotaro. Like, here's how to use Hammon.
Well, at the very least, and it's funny because this needs to get brought up in Part 5 too, there should have been an arc where Joseph gets fed up with Jotaro's crap and just sits down and talks to him about their family history. Yeah, because he does not give him any information about the past.
He does so. He does so insofar as that he explains Jonathan exists because Dio is Jonathan's body in Dio's head, and that's basically it.
And I think we're led to believe that Jotaro finds out of his own volition later on what his family's past is like.
Oh, he definitely does,
but we don't see it
because or if he doesn't, Part 5 doesn't happen. Right. You know,
right. And I think it would have been very, very cool if we got a small part of that arc where Joseph does try to train Jotaro
and
in Hammon.
I think there's two outcomes. I think either Jotaro's not interested or he's bad at it and can't do it.
Or number 3, it's his trump card that we don't see till the Dio fight.
That would also be cool. And then that's the first and last time he uses it.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Sure.
Because at that point he gets the world, and I could see that character being like, oh, fuck Hammon, I can stop time now.
Right. No, I mean, that's the thing, is either he's can't do it or is bad at it, which at that point they just can tell us in a sentence.
Yeah.
I tried learning, didn't work out. Or he can and just keeps it a secret until he doesn't.
And then he uses it once in a major way to stop villain.exe.
Yeah.
And then he stops him, and then he never uses it again because he doesn't have to, and he has Star Platinum as far as Part 4 is concerned, the greatest stand ever.
Right.
But it's getting weaker by the
Yeah,
second.
it's kind of the power creep has kind of made Star Platinum not as good.
Yeah.
Like there's just more interesting stands happening.
Oh, you're saying like King Crimson versus Star Platinum and stuff like that? Yeah.
I don't think he'd win.
No. No.
At least not alone.
He couldn't win to a fucking rat. Are you kidding me?
Well, here's the thing though. If he was top A game Jotaro, like in Dio fight,
if he was can use the world for 9 seconds, he'd fuck that rat right up. But
the rat and King Crimson.
Well, yeah.
But he's not.
But he's not. No. No, I think that's good. Let's talk about the Dio fight and why Dio. We're almost done. With this podcast. We've been going for almost just as long as we wanted to. But I kind of tell me if you're not okay with this. In our If We Made It video, I want to bring up the fact that he doesn't use any of his vampire powers in the Dio fight.
Oh, absolutely. No, that's a huge
talk about
plot
fucking
hole.
trump cards.
Oh, I know.
Imagine if the Dio fight was happening the way it happened, and then all of a sudden he shoots lasers out of his fucking eyes, and he freezes Polnareff solid. Are you kidding me?
I get it. That's absolutely something we should bring up. There's two.
Maybe for this video we watch the Dio fight again.
Sure. I feel like that would make a huge difference. There's two things that bother me, and it also goes along with just how Jotaro develops in these shows.
Or doesn't.
Right. Well, my point exactly. He learns 2 OP game-breaking moves in one episode.
What's the second one? Flying?
Hold on.
The world?
Yes, the world and flying. Sorry,
yeah, okay,
the world
cool.
and flying. 3, if you count stopping his own heart. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's like, we never talked about this. They can stick their own hands inside your human body?
Yeah, I guess.
That's insane. Imagine you're just like, oh, I ate that thing. I don't want that thing anymore. I don't know. I'm just saying. It's weird. I didn't make. Look at me, Anthony. I didn't make it weird.
I know.
He made it weird.
Hey, Chris, it's bizarre.
No, at the end of the day, that's what. But it could be bizarrely well written.
It could. Hey,
you know
it's
what?
bizarre, but have you considered if it was good?
Future Anthony.
Yes. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I put the game down. What's up?
Throw in the script. Bizarrely well written, the way we just said it. That was funny. It was funny.
Oh, okay.
But
and back to Cheetos.
Yeah. No, but
I don't eat Cheetos. I picked the bad chip to. Anyways, keep going.
Sweet chili Doritos.
Sweet chili. Oh yes,
Purple Doritos.
I do eat. Are those called sweet chili Doritos? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
They taste like sweet chili. Now that I think about it.
Anyways.
Sorry.
He learns how to fly. Does not acknowledge the fact that he didn't know how to do that 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Then uses the world, which for those of you, I think we've hinted at it so far, stops time.
Yeah.
Doesn't care that he learned how to do that. And doesn't explain why he learned how to do either of those.
The writer's explanation was kind of shitty. He explained that Jotaro in the fight recognized that Star Platinum and the world were similar enough that he could probably do the same things as him, and then he does.
That's not good enough.
It's not good enough. It also doesn't explain flight. His explanation for flight is even looser because he says the only reason they fly is because it was cool.
Yeah. Good. That's the other thing, too, is they didn't need to fly.
No.
They were both OP enough. Flight did not need to come into play.
They could have, done that thing where they're like, ha, and
just
Dragon
a big
Ball
jump
Z towards each other.
Yeah.
Not even a big jump, just like we're running and we're jumping towards each other, but our feet left the ground and we're
Yeah. No,
and maybe and this kind of happens, maybe while their punching is so intense that they lift off the ground, but they straight up I'm following you and we're flying, and it's just this is not how it happens.
You know how that scene could have been cool with just one sentence, and that's when Dio puts Jotaro in the world and he thinks he's safe, and you just hear Jotaro say, "Oh, I see you can do that too."
Yeah.
And
then it's kind of like he could always do this, but he never showed us.
Yeah, and
that'd
Dio's
be
which one is it?
What do you
Impossible in Japanese.
Oh,
Bakana?
Bakana?
Yeah, and Dio's just like, Bakana! And
Sure.
Nani?
You know fushigis? The balls that you're supposed to like fucking fondle and they make like a cool thing. It's like a made-for-TV ad where it was like, buy fushigi. It was like a weird ball.
I think so.
Fushigi must mean like lawyer or something in Japanese because I've been watching Ace Attorney TV show and both theme songs they use the word fushigi.
Good.
And I'm just like, does this mean courtroom maybe?
But am I right though? Just like if you need to have Jotaro use
the world, which you do, or else he's gonna lose.
Right. Just make it that he's always been able to do it, but didn't know what was happening.
Right.
Until Dio did
That'd be pretty cool if there was something like mid-season where it was like, whoa, what the fuck was that? Anyways, back to the sun or whatever we're fighting this episode.
Or it's just like, yeah, exactly, where it's just like, Jotaro, but you were... How did you...
Yeah, exactly. And he's like,
what are you talking about? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my God. That would be perfect. We just wrote that scene together. It'd be like they're walking together, and then Jotaro's like 5 feet in front of him, and Polnareff's like, what the... How did you do that? And and then Jotaro, with his shitty attitude, is like, hey, come on, slowpokes. You're falling behind.
Or even more like... Because unbelievable things happen in this show that get difficult to explain. And there could just be one episode where it's like... Okay, but how did Jotaro get over there? And it's like, well, he's not going to tell us because he's Jotaro, I guess.
Right.
It could just be one of those, and then you find out at the end of the season, you're like, oh, wait, that's how he did that. It would just be cool.
Yeah.
Like,
it'd be really
if
cool.
we just get a crappy, bad anime explanation of, like, I've always been over here. And it's like, oh, okay, I guess that's how they beat him.
Yeah. You could even go as far as to do a cute little thing in part 1 where Dio sort of teleports and you're like, what?
Yeah.
And when you watch it back, you're like, oh shit, he did the world by mistake.
Right.
How do you do that?
Well, I don't want to discredit, because I understand some time went by. I don't want to discredit him for the past. The writer for JoJo.
Yeah.
That would be super cool. I can't give him crap for something he didn't do in part 1.
Right.
I can give him crap for what he's...
Well, I'm talking about the TV show. They had an opportunity to do something like that.
Oh, yeah. David
when
Production
adapting
adapting
the manga into a television show.
And you know what? They're usually good with stuff like that.
Yeah. Dude, I've been watching Ace Attorney on Crunchyroll, and they've been showing trailers for part 5 as if to be like, watch it on Crunchyroll. The trailers are so good, it makes me want to watch it again, and then I remember that it's bad and only the first 5 episodes are good.
The one we're watching right now?
Yeah, Giorno.
Yeah.
Because the first episodes are really good, and then it just gets so...
Well, I want to see how it ends. I want to see how it ends.
Me too. Because that's what happened with part 3. I was just like, yeah, okay, whatever, I'll get through it. And then Darby happens, and then Pet Shop at the Gates of Hell happened, and then Dio happens. I was like, all right, that was pretty good.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Up till the Egyptian part, it's kind of stinky. Once they get in Egypt, it's pretty good.
It's a funny... it's funny to think about it this way, but when they introduce the worst character is when the show gets better.
Yeah.
And those two things have nothing to do with each other.
Yeah.
They introduce the dog, the fucking fart dog joke machine, and he sucks, and we're like, wow, this sucks. And then the show gets better because the enemies get more intricate, and the plot lines get a little better. I think we're about done with this.
For those of you who don't know me and Anthony personally, we do love JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. We're just pointing out some things that maybe could have been done a little better, and same could be said for everything we make on this series that we're talking about.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's like I said in the beginning when I was reading the script. It's like we're not... If we tried to make a show, it would probably suck. We can't make a show, but it's just the... Your show was good enough, but it... we could have done stuff.
And it's all 20/20 hindsight.
Right.
It's just like what if? Kind of like,
Right.
That could have been a title for it too.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually glad it's not now cuz Marvel is doing their thing called What If.
Oh, you're right. No, but it's literally
we should have done it beforehand and then sued them.
Right. No, it's just it's hindsight. It's looking back, seeing what could have been better, and anybody could do this. Anybody could sit down and crap on something somebody else made and talk about how better it could have been.
Nando V Movies does it all the time, and he does it in such a great way where he's like, listen, this movie was good, I liked it, but here's my version.
Yeah.
He does that. That's his big thing. He did it with Black Panther, he did it with Wonder Woman, he did it with Justice League. His Justice League rewrite was so good, I cried a couple times. It was really good. No, he does that too, and he always makes a point of being like, listen, I'm not writing movies, I'm not a person who makes movies, but, here's what I would have done.
Yeah. But yeah, that's so I guess that just about does it for us.
Yeah.
Make sure you watch this episode of
If We Made. Which will probably be out, I'm going to say 3 weeks from now. Make it a safe 3-week bet. But maybe sooner, who knows. But yeah, thank you for bearing with us during this loosey-goosey JoJo discussion episode. If you liked it, tell us, and we'll do it again.
Yeah.
And I've been Thunder.
I'm Lightning.
And we'll see you next time. Oh my